Rolls-Royce 20 horsepower two-seater by W. Watson and Company 1923. Rolls-Royce's 20 horsepower was well ahead of its time in many regards. In the late 1990s, when Bentley decided to look at a broader market for its products and introduced the Continental Coupe, it was hailed as genius and spurred marketing, which brought them the Le Mans crown again after 70 years. This was a similar move. The 20 horsepower was catering to the same market, the company wisely realizing that in the post-Great War era its market would head more towards the owner who was also the driver, or indeed to a slightly smaller budget than its clientele had traditionally had. With it, the company templated a new inline six-cylinder engine, which would later form the basis in an enlarged capacity for the first two of its Phantom series. It also moved the gear and handbrake levers to the center of the car, improving access for the driver and enabling more practical 2- or 4-door coachwork to be fitted to the chassis. The latter proved confusing to the British, and within 3 or so years the cars reverted to a right-hand lever arrangement, but in the US this would be adopted for Springfield-built Phantoms, showing that Rolls was very much in touch with the age. This is a rare and interesting example dating from early on in the 6-year production run. In fact, its factory record denotes the car as the 125th to be built and the 122nd to be tested. It appears that the car was originally ordered by Mr. H.E. Steele, the request being made by Liverpool agent, William Watson and Sons. Limited. William Watson was a famed dealer in this region, who sold luxury cars including Napier and Rolls-Royce, and had in 1908 driven the Napier-built 4-cylinder Hutton car to victory in the Isle of Man Tourist Trophy. At first glance, this 20 horsepower might appear to be a later rebody in a roadster style, but Bonham's research with the British Rolls-Royce Enthusiasts Club reveals that the car is most probably exactly as it was originally delivered, as their records confirm that the car was one of few surviving of any marks to have been bodied by Watsons. An annotation in the records clearly stating two-seater open, listing a hood, top, envelope. Although bodied by Watsons, it seems that the car was either never delivered to Mr. Steele, or was sold quite soon after, as by June 1923 it was the property of R. H. Gossage, who was based close to Liverpool in Birkenhead, and was registered under the local license plate prefixed CM, which it still wears. In one of the more detailed listings for these cars, maintenance on it is charted through to the late 1930s with Watsons. In 1953, after the war, the car passed to HLH Burley, further south in the UK near Oxford. Sometime later the Rolls crossed the Atlantic and has been Texas for a number of years. Today, it still wears William Watson and Company coach builder plates, and remains in the two-seater configuration it was when new, suggesting that this is its original bodywork. It is likely that the fenders and/or running boards have been replaced at some stage, as they are listed originally as having contained toolboxes, but otherwise the car has many original features of these early cars, such as the rounded edge radiator, coil mounted on top of the cylinder head and, of course, the center change gearbox, confirming its originality. A restoration has been carried out at some point, but this work now has some age to it. Laid up for the last few years, the car has received some mechanical attention recently and is expected to be running in time for the auction. Naturally, a more thorough servicing is advised before road use. With lightweight coachwork, this early Rolls-Royce 20 horsepower offers great potential for touring,